Hi guys, and welcome to this new video. Today I'm going to be listing the top 3 modifications I would recommend to do to an Abarth 500. These are generally going to be ones that I've either done myself or ones that I would recommend for anyone looking to do mods to their Abarth. So the first one would be, I personally have some Sparko Sprint bucket seats in mine because the standard seating position is not great, especially for people like myself. I'm 6'3", so the driving position generally is very high. So in the standard seat, for example, if you'd have the sun visor down, you'd be looking halfway through the visor, and obviously you can't see, which is not fantastic. I had the leather sport seats that came with my car. They're okay, they're comfortable, but realistically, you could never get a comfortable driving position. However, with the Sparko Sprints, because you sit a lot lower, I'm now looking directly through the middle of the windscreen, which is much nicer. However, I would say if you're under 6 foot, I can't recommend that you would be able to see over the dashboard. That's the only thing with them, because they do sit very low. The second modification that I would recommend to do is a short shifter, because the standard gear lever and action is very long and a bit sloppy. However, in my car, I've got the CAE Ultra Shifter, which is obviously expensive and a bit extreme for some people. However, I did have a DNA Stage 1 short shifter beforehand, and I would recommend that to most people if you don't want to go for something that's more expensive. Alternatively, there is the MTech short shifter as well, which is another one that's been done by a lot of people and is also a very useful and good mod to do, because obviously you're using the gear stick the entire time when you're driving, and it just makes the shifts a lot nicer and a lot more positive. And obviously it makes it a lot easier to find the gears that you want nicely. The third mod I have personally done, which I thought made quite a big difference, was I've got a Bonalume dump valve, or Bonalume, whichever way you say it. And I found that when I had that, when I was originally running the standard IHI turbo, it made a big difference in the fact that it held boost a lot easier, and also it makes quite a nice noise as well. And it's especially good now that I've got the bigger turbo. It makes a big difference, and it's not particularly expensive. You can pick them up for £185 to £190, which is not cheap, but it's also not expensive. And that's the thing, going back to the other mods as well. The short shifters for a DNA is, I think the one I had, I paid about 150 quid for. Alternatively, the MTech's less than 100. So you can do these mods relatively cheap. I think for one Sparko Sprint with all of the sliders and the subframes, I think I paid about 300 quid in total, including the cost of the seat. So generally for £500 or £600, you can have some really nice mods that I think really help with driving position and how the car performs as well. Other ones that I would probably recommend for people, depending on your turbo, is you can get an induction kit, and also with the exhaust, if you've got the standard exhaust on, it's okay. However, the front pipe in particular goes down to 1.75 inch, which is not ideal and is quite restrictive. So what I did was get a catback, which is custom by Powerflow and is a 2.5 inch from the bottom of the cat all the way back. And it's really helped the flow of the exhaust, and it's freed things up a lot nicely. Yeah, generally there's just a few mods that I would recommend people to do when modding your Abarth. They do make quite a lot of difference, and as I say, they're not ridiculously expensive, so if you're on a bit of a budget, then those are the ones that I would recommend to people. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, like, and hopefully I'll see you on the next one.